What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for joining us here. So as you can see, the FJ45 is back at the garage. I'm really happy about that. It's been at the fabrication shop for, I don't know, maybe 2 months. But we're finally making some headway on the rear tray and canopy setup. So should have more content for that coming hopefully real soon. But in this video, we're gonna continue working on the transfer case. As you know, I had a bit of a snafu, my fault, with the not running any oil in the transfer case. We won't talk about that right now. But the good news is that my mate George over at Valley Hybrids has been absolutely instrumental in helping me locate the gears that I need to fix the case without, charging me a small fortune in the process. So really happy about that. We're also going to continue working on the 12HT that's back there somewhere, and start pulling the injectors off, keep pulling the parts off. I've been Cerakoting things in the background, like left and right. I figured you guys don't need to see another video on that. So cleaning up all the parts, all that boring stuff. If you like this video, please be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that subscribe button. It really helps out. And yeah, leave your comments and thoughts down below. But enough chit chat, let's get on with the video. As you can see, we started making some progress here, started getting everything back together. At the moment, it just looks one giant mess of a jigsaw puzzle. You can see these are the old gears here that we had before. We're now going to replace them with a good gear set here. So far, everything's been cleaned up, degreased, we used brake parts cleaner on pretty much everything, and it will get re-greased, ready for reassembly. Managed to get this seal in here. I did have to grind down, or file down these edges. The old gears took a chunk out of it here, but it's nice and smooth now. So got the new seal in, also got the new rear part in and the new bearing in, so that's all set in there. And next thing we're going to do is going to start pushing off this bearing and getting this gear set off so I can replace it with, where to go, this one right here. This gear is going to go back on. Nope, I'll take it back, not that one, this one. This gear is going to go back on here like this. So the bearings are in good shape. Like I said, this transmission and transfer case has literally got 20 miles on it before I managed to destroy it. So everything's in good shape except for the gears. So anyway, we'll go ahead. I'm going to pop this off, get that on, and then we'll reassemble that in the back of the case and start reassembling all these gears and everything back together. Alright guys, there we have it. Just got to put the side cover on. One last inspection before I do. You can see all the new gears now. Everything's been properly torqued down to spec. Came out pretty good. We'll see, I hope. I won't know until I get it in the truck, but everything seems to be good. The four-wheel drive engages really well. Just got to go ahead and four-wheel drive engage. Right. So that's good. Just need to hook up this front linkage here. So you put on that side cover. Anyway, let's get this thing back to the house and get in the truck. Okay, fast forward a couple of days now. Transmission is back at home. I still don't have the Landcruiser, kind of missing that important piece. That's still at the fabricator because we're still working on the bed part, but hopefully that should be home sometime next week. In the meantime, in getting back to the 12HT, these are all loose now. Some of these were stuck. Just a little tap of the mallet on either side and all these injectors are loose, so we're ready to get those out now. Also, what I've done here is I've got the front timing gear cover off. Just wanted to check everything, make sure everything was good on that front. I also wanted to take a look here and see what the state of the front crankshaft seal, oil seal is, and as you can see, it is pretty bad. So I'm pleased I'm doing this. I've got a genuine Toyota seal kit, which I've been using throughout this whole process. Following the FSM, if it'll focus, there we go. Make sure I'm following all the steps correctly. I do want to take off this cover right here and replace this gasket. It kind of looks like it's perished all the way around. You can kind of see the cracks in the gasket there. So I'd like to get that off. And then, yeah, hopefully that's the last bit. And then I can start reassembly. All right, got the side cover off here. There's the grid heater. I'm not going to run the grid heater in this truck. It just doesn't get cold enough. I don't think that's really necessary, so I'm probably going to delete that. There's the intake there that the crossover pipes come on. And here's the side cover off. Everything looks to be in good shape. I can see it looks like the gasket here has got, you can see that on camera, but it looks like it may have been leaking on the corner there. Good news is that all the fuel system stuff seems to be intact. Everything's still safety wired, which is really good. I really don't know what to do about this cover right here. This is the oil cooler. So the oil cooler's behind there and this is the side cover for it. I'd have to take all this junk off just to get to that, and I really don't want to do that right now. So I'm in two minds about what to do there. Probably gonna leave it alone, but for now I'm gonna go ahead and clean this all up, tape it off for now. I've got the intake sitting over there on the workbench. So I'm gonna clean that up and probably go ahead and start getting it all back together, and I'll have a little think about this. All right, got all the injectors out. As you can see, I plugged all the holes up, make sure nothing falls in there while I'm working on them. Got the intake manifold still sitting over there and cleaned it up real good. Got the timing gear cover off and cleaned up real good as well. And as you know, I've been using this H series Cerakote, but Cerakote make a product, I want to say it's the E series or the C series. I'm not sure which one it is, but anyway, it's an air dry Cerakote, so you don't have to bake it, you just leave it on, and I think it takes like 5 days to cure or something like that. So I've got some of that coming through the mail, and I want to give that a try here on the front cover and the big pieces and whatnot. But anyway, finished cleaning up the engine a little bit. We are getting there slowly but surely. As you saw, I got all the injectors out, all labeled, ready to go. I'm gonna put them in a bag here, label them up, and tomorrow head over to Kevin's and see if we can pop test these and see what kind of condition they're in. They all seem to be okay. This one was a little wet when I pulled it out, so I don't know if it's leaking or what the story is, but hopefully we'll know more tomorrow. So it's a little bit late. I'm gonna go ahead and continue this in the morning. All right, made it over Kevin's here. We're gonna test these nozzles, make sure the opening pressure is where it needs to be, and see if any of them are leaking. Got it hooked up to this nozzle testing device. According to the spec here, the opening pressure should be on a reused nozzle 2560 to, it's about 25 to 3000 psi. So we've got all our injectors lined up there, fresh diesel, and there's one of the injectors. So we're just getting a beaker or a glass beaker, do a testing and see what this this pressure opens up at. That'll work. That was
Is it supposed to be a straight stream, or is it supposed to be? See how it's like a push,
like a push.
Yeah.
It says here. Let's take a look.
What are you doing? See how that one's popping?
Is it?
And then closing. The other one was like.
All right, we just got finished doing all these injectors, all 6 of them. Not terrible shape, good pressure, right, Kev?
Yeah, pretty good.
And a couple of drips on one of them. One of them, I think number 4 there, had the bad spray pattern, and it was dripping a bit. So we were just talking about doing. Whoa, that's close.
Sorry.
We were talking about just doing, just checking out the rebuild and see how much it would cost to buy a rebuild kit, because they don't seem difficult to do. And I know Kevin had rebuilt his injectors for his 3B, and he just pulled them out so we could just show you guys the difference and what he found when he was doing the rebuild on his.
Okay, so here is one of the injectors right here. This apparently was number 3, and I bought another set, so I have 2 sets. But right here where you can see that the tip of the injector, and this is a different style injector, obviously. This is an indirect inject where the 12HT is a direct inject. But you can see where it's burned and cratered in. Here is another one, and it's got a burned crater. And that just changes the whole spray and the way that the injector works. So I have a brand new one right here, and these are... I was going to rebuild this set and see how they did. But these are supposed to be some very nice high-end. But what happens is the fuel comes in here, and this has all this mess and the spring. Basically, this sits on top of there, and then there's a spring and some other parts. And when the fuel pressure gets high enough, it pushes the needle out of here, and I can't get this one out. It started to come out, but I can't get it to come out. It's a very, very, very precision fit so that the fuel doesn't go through there. It goes through these holes, and so that fuel doesn't come back up. It actually goes out. I've been able to get them out. They usually slide out, but it's a very, very tight tolerance. I'm grabbing another one and see if I can get it out.
And where did you get these injectors from, Kev?
So I ordered just a set of Denso ones, and I ordered from a place called the Highway and Heavy Parts. Okay, here it comes. So that's the nozzle right there.
Okay.
And it is, like I said, I don't even know if I can get it back in there. And these are Monarch injectors. They're made in Germany, and they're supposed to be very, very precision injectors. However, when I rebuilt the injectors with them, the pressures on them were extremely high, and when I rebuilt it with the Denso injectors, everything was in spec and where it should be. So I just went back with the Denso injectors, and I've got the Monarch ones here for whenever I get the notion to get the correct shims.
Now, when you bought these injectors, or you bought those the new tips, I guess.
Yep.
They also pop testing at about 2,800, same as the.
I think the 3B is like 21 or 2,200. It's a lower pressure. I think direct injection needs just a little bit higher pressure. But here is one of the shims right here, and so these are, you measure them with a micrometer, and they're different thicknesses. And there's actually a spec right there, Dan. If you want to show them, you can adjust it. And it shows you if you go, how many, right here. I think
Yeah, there it is, yeah.
3.8, let's see, for every 10,000th of an inch will be 54 PSI. So you can adjust your opening pressure by changing your shim by that much.
Cool.
So.
All right. Well, I think what we'll do is we'll hop on. Let's hop online and see if we can find. Just see what these would run just fine in that 12HT. It was running just fine when they were pulled, but it's like everything else. While I got it out, may as well take a look, and it doesn't look that big of a deal. I'm not by any means an expert on injectors, but you can kind of see here the breakdown process of replacing these nozzles. So it doesn't seem at the moment to be too bad. So let's see if those are available, and we'll go from there. So here's one of those Monarch injectors for the 3B, and you can see, just as an example, what that pops at.
Let's see how it's more of a
very
mist. Fine mist.
Yeah, mine was more of a squirt, I guess.
Yeah, but yours is injecting it directly into the cylinder, and mine is injecting it into the pre-combustion chamber, so it needs to force it down towards the compressor, or towards the piston, and through the pre-cup and everything like that.
Yeah. All right, awesome. All right, back at the house now. I really appreciate that, Kev. Thanks for letting me use your injector pop tester there to see what the state of these injectors were. So we got back home, had a quick look on PartsSouk here, taking a look at what it is I'm going to need to rebuild these. Now I already have this copper washer plate, which looks like this. There's the part number for that. I already have a bunch of those, which is good. I also have the seat, which actually sits, I think this is the seat right here. So I have a bunch of those sitting at the house already, and that's the part number for that. So these, the washers and everything, are consumable parts. That's why I have new ones of those. These, however, I can just reuse the spring and all the other components. The injector piece we need is this bit right here. And first of all, they don't even have them. But if they did, look at the price. And that is per injector. So, I mean, they only have, you know, one in stock right there, but that's ridiculous. Absolutely outrageous, you know. And with shipping to the US, the total will come in at $850. So, wow, that is crazy expensive. Well, anyway, we managed to cross-reference that Toyota part number right here. Found the Denso part number and had a look on eBay. And this reputable seller here, from what I've been told, he got a lot of good positive feedback, which is always handy. A friend of mine told me about him, and he has got a set of these 6 Denso injector nozzles, and there's the difference: basically $191, and then shipping is, say, $12. But yeah, what a difference in price. $200 compared to $850. And for those guys who need it, there's all the information right there. You got the Denso part number, the Toyota part number. So yeah, awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and order these, get these shipped over here, and then hopefully we'll be able to do a video for you guys about rebuilding the 12HC injectors. All right, made it back. That is how it's done. 80, pulling the 45. That's a good looking rig combo right there. But managed to make it back before the weather took a turn. See, I got the 100 over there, but I got the trailer hooked up to it. So we got Kevin's 80 out here pulling the 45. Got back from the fabrication shop. And the plan is we're gonna get in the garage and we'll get back to work on it. So I'm gonna give Kev a hand here and get this thing back in the house. All right, and it is back in the house, finally. It's been sitting over the fabrication shop for just way too long. Excited to have it back at the house now. I've got a lot of work ahead of me. The rear part of the frame, well, let's just say it's seen better days. So I got to work on that. Gonna hopefully get that sandblasted, cleaned up, painted, much like I did the front of the truck when I did that in a previous video. Link down below if you wanna see that. Let's see, keep working on the 12HT. The next video, we'll hopefully get the H55 transmission back in, get this thing running back under its own power. And that's it. The fabrication work has begun at the shop, so the rear bed, hopefully we'll see some kind of progress on that here in the next video or two. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining me. If you made it this far, I appreciate you watching. Check us out on Instagram at Music City Cruises, and we'll catch you next time.